Hello friends, welcome to FoxuTech. So in last video we have seen about what is Crossplane and how it should be useful, and what is the feature it has. And also we have seen some demo, but in this video we're gonna expand the demo and we're gonna see a few other resource creation with the Crossplane. All right, so we have already posted this blog. I'll be adding this in the description. So you can check for the commands, whatever I'm running. So I'll be copying from this post and I'm gonna explain to you, right? So what is Crossplane? So Crossplane is developed as a Kubernetes add-on and that expands the Kubernetes cluster with flexible to provision and manage your cloud resources or infrastructure, right? So you can create your any cloud infrastructure such as like a storage account, or do you want to create a resource group or virtual network, subnets, or a Kubernetes cluster even. So you want to provision a VM or anything like it can be done any kind of a resource. So even you want to create something on big data or you want to create some analytics or serverless features or anything, right? So a Crossplane will be the best tool and that may help you to do all the steps from the Kubernetes. That is the important thing we should know, because you no need to install any kind of additional tools. Even in the Kubernetes, you need to install the Crossplane and you can run kubectl command. No need to run any special command additionally. Yes, there is an additional command. Crossplane comes with the own command. So kubectl-crossplane, even that you can use, but again, that's optional. You can, if you are so good with the Kubernetes, sorry, kubectl, please stick with that and you can do that. All right, so this video is expecting like some prerequisite is one, you have any Kubernetes cluster that can be a micro Kubernetes or it can be anything, or kind cluster or anything you can create. If you don't have anything and you have some Azure account, you can follow this tutorial and with the Terraform you can create the Kubernetes cluster. Right, so next kubectl you should have, obviously, because we're gonna run the things via kubectl. And you have a kubeconfig. My case, there will be a different path, but if you are managing the default path, it's up to you, right? And Helm is mandatory because we have to install the Crossplane using Helm. And last video we have already installed it, and this is the command we ran. So the first command we used kubectl create the namespace, and then we have added the repo to our portal. We have updated the repo and also we have installed the Crossplane, right? So let me show you that list command and we'll follow as long. Okay, so let me log into my machine and this is my machine. So let me do this here. Let me go for keep it separate window for you. All right, so this may help you to do the copy paste command. So I'm gonna list the Crossplane Helm chat. So sorry for that. Okay, so you can see the version here, and we are running with the latest version mostly. Okay, then if you run the kubectl command, you can see what are the Crossplane resources has been installed. You can see the pod, deployment, and replica set has been cleared. Right, so I have already installed the CLI, but I'm not going to use, but I'm going to show you for your reference. So Crossplane, and if you put help, you can see what are the available options are there. You can do everything, like if you want to install the provider, you want to update the configuration, anything you can do with this kubectl command. Okay, so let's not do that, but this is what it does. And then if you are using Azure, so you need to create some service principal. So that service principal commands, you can use this. So let me quickly do it here. I'm not going to use this, but I have already existing one with the customized, but this is the command, pretty much you can use it. So if you do so, it will show, but you need to use need to use first login command. So I have shown in the last video. So you need to log in first, then you have to run all these commands. So that's how you should follow, but I'm not going to run now as I have already the file under my Kubernetes AKS path, and you can see the file is present here. I can show you this issues. So this is the information it's content: client ID, client secret, subscription, and all those details. It will be handled here. And so after this video, I'm going to delete this, but it won't be a problem. So this is how the file will look like. So once you do so, what you can do, you need to create the secret. So you can use the command called secret create command. So this is a command you have to use it. So let me expand my window so that you can see that clearly. So I'm creating a Azure credential, and I'm going to create under the Crossplane namespace, and this is a file. The path is current directory, right? So already there is a one I have now. So this is the same command, you can use it. The second thing what you have to do, so next we're going to do providers. So for that, if you are seeing this video first time, so already we have a separate repo for this. If you want, you can just check our GitHub repo, which is GitHub/FoxuTech, and under the FoxuTech, go to the repositories and check on Crossplane. So in the Crossplane repo, you can see there is a folder called Azure, and also I'm going to show how to create the Azure resources. So let's see that one by one and what it does. Okay. So let me show you the first Kubernetes AKS and Crossplane, Azure. The very first file is provider. So as I shown in the kind option, whenever we discuss about Crossplane, so the first thing you should install the provider. So then you can install any kind of resources, but provider is must. Without provider, you may get the error. There is no such options available, right? So it's all custom resource providers. So you can see this is a provider, and this is used for the Azure. So if you want for AWS, provider-AWS, you can use it. And the spec we are using, the master repo, and this is the package we are using. For now, you can skip this Crossplane, annotation. So I'll be explaining on next video. So next is, once you define, hey, this is my provider, next we should configure the provider config, which is nothing but it will hold your secret. Okay, so the secret what we created, Azure-cred, and it has a keys, right? So the Crossplane namespace, and from that it's going to read this file, and it will be create a providers. So how to do that? kubectl apply -f Azure providers, and rerun it. Sometimes this will be make an issue, so you need to rerun twice or thrice. So it takes little time and it creates it lost. So this is known, but because it's take little time or little time to wait this provider to download and install it, that's why the provider config takes little time. Okay, so now quickly let's check kubectl get providers, and then Crossplane. You can see the status is healthy now, so you are well and good to continue your resource creation. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, as you know, if you are good, if you're already working with Azure, so the first thing whatever we want to do is resource group at first place, right? So without this resource group, we can't create any other thing. So to maintain everything, you can make use of existing one, but always go with the from scratch to start. So let me say like I'm going to create the first resource group. Let me quickly show what is inside the resource group. The resource groups, this is the kind I'm using. This is the API, and the name of the resource group will be RG Crossplane. So let's quickly confirm it. Right. Refresh it and see there is no resource group with the RG-Crossplane, right? So there is nothing, and it's going to be part of ES2S. As my subscription, mostly I have everything on ES2S. I'm going to use ES2S. If you have a different region, please use a different location, and also please change the name accordingly, whatever name you want. Okay. So this is the one. So we're gonna create it kubectl create -f resource group. So let it create. So the resource group has been created. So now let's check get resource group. The status is true and sync and ready, right? So that means your resource group should be created shortly. So still it's not yet. So you can see the resource group has been created, and this is part of ES2S. Let me describe it for you. kubectl describe resource group and the resource group name. So you can quickly check what has been done, successfully created the external resource, and what all the action it's followed and succeeded, when it's started and when it's provisioned. Everything you can see it here. So with this thing, we can see within a minute, the resource has been, sorry, within a second, the resource has been created. Right? It's quick, right? Yes. So this is little much quick. So let's see that how to create other resources. So what is other resource we can create? Let's try to create storage, which is a storage account. Let me show what is inside first. So I'm gonna say like a storage account. Inside the storage account, this is account, and this will be the name of the storage account. And please make sure this is 24 character less. If you keep more than 24 character, this will fail because there is a limitation on Azure, right? And this is going to be part of the new resource group what we created, and this will be a kind for the account spec, and this will be STS, and I'm going to create a standard LRS. I don't want to like a premium or something, so I'm using a standard, and it's going to create a secret. Once it's created, the SaaS token will be created part of this manifest. So why it's so? Because if you want to connect, in case if you want to connect or your application you are deploying with the kubectl, and that's need a connection to this particular storage account, so you can just refer this storage account part of your deployment. So infrastructure provisioning and deployment. So you no need to do first infrastructure and collect the secrets and create a separate secret in Kubernetes. Then you need to refer to application. There is no such a work will be there. Everything all together will be done. Okay, we're gonna see that once we apply. So now let me apply this. So I'm gonna create a storage now, as we already created the resource group. This time I'm gonna create the storage, and let's see that what is the storage will be like. So let's check the status. Get account is the storage one. We want to see that. So you can see still this account name is not yet populated, and let's describe and see is there any event is coming up. Describe account, the account name is FoxuTech storage explain. Okay, so this is succeeded and still it's running. Let's go and check on the Azure also. Still there is no storage account. It may take little time. So let me quickly rerun this. You can see it's creating a blob, and these are the entry points. Obviously, this is the entry point on resource group, and it's captured everything, and it's going to do one by one at the back end. So we'll be seeing shortly when the storage account get created. So obviously it takes little time long, even everywhere, like any resource group or any method, if you try, the storage account takes little time. At last it's been created, and this is the account name we given. If you click on this, you could see here the storage account has been created, and this is part of RG Crossplane. So it was nothing was there, and now this has been created. Let's again check it is any succeeded message. Well, so everything has been succeeded, and this has been created. So, but we seen there is one more thing, right? The storage secret has to be created. Let's quickly check get secrets. And see there is a storage secret has been created automatically. So let me describe it for you. Describe secret the name of the secret. So it has an endpoint and username and password. It's there. So what is inside? Let's see that by editing it. You can see it has collected the endpoint and it's been collected this password and this is collected the username. Okay, so let's quickly decode it and see that. So to do decode, you can paste pipe simple and base 64 F1D. So you can see the username has been same as like your storage account. It's been created. Good, right? So we no need to do this manual work. It's saved our little time, but even that is very good. So now we have created resource group. Under resource group, we have created the storage, right? So let's quickly check few other resources and we see that. So before we winding up, so I'm going to create next virtual network and subnet, and the subnet going to be part of that virtual network. Okay. So this is a virtual net. Sorry. Beam virtual network. I'm going to create a virtual network and I named as VN Crossplane, and it's going to be part of again the same resource group and it's going to be part of ESTS. I'm giving the IP address prefix with a certain default name and configuration is going to be a default name. Let's create it. Play -f virtual network.yaml and let's see that kubectl get virtual network succeeded. So let's try it now. Okay, it's not at it came. So virtual network has been created now. You can see this virtual network, it's part of this IP address, that is correct, and this is part of this, and these 2 years, whatever we given, it's well and good, right? So far so good. So let's see that inside there is any subnet. There is no subnet yet. Let's create it. So how to create a subnet? Have a file even for that. So this will have a subnet and I'm going to name it as like a Crossplane. And this is like a RG Crossplane, part of this namespace, sorry, resource group. And this will be part of this virtual network. I have given the prefix and also I'm allowing the endpoint. This is little mandatory. So in case if you are using, so this can be used. And I'm using a provider config references default. Okay. So that is already referred. So that is nothing but the provider config, whatever we created. So, right. So you can see this is the provider config. If you are naming different for the provider config, you need to define it different for your subnet or anywhere if you referred here, right? So this you need to change it. So this is referred for the referring a credential of Azure. Okay, so kubectl apply -f service. So the subnet has been created. Let's see that subnet, and it's still updating. It's taking a little time. Okay, it's still in progress. You can watch it. Some of the resources it's take time. You know about Azure, and so we have seen it's even in the Terraform. It's taking a little long. Maybe there is some API call has to be done. Okay. So updated and creation of external resources is done. Okay. So do we have a subnet already here? Yes, you can see the subnet is created, right? So this is the subnet IP we given, and also we have enabled the endpoint for a Microsoft SQL. Let me quickly show you the YAML again. Cat subnet. You can see Microsoft SQL, and this is correct, and 10.0.0.0./24. Yes, that's IP and VM Crossplane, that is part of this particular virtual network, and the resource group is RG Crossplane. All right, so far we are good and we are good progressing. So we have created the storage, we have created the network. So even you can create the Kubernetes cluster, but this is going to be take long time. So it's going to take at least 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not going to run it for you, but what I'm going to do, so you can just see this file and understand it, and you can run with yourself. Please make sure before you are doing this, you have granted the required permission. Why? Because Azure Kubernetes is required additional permission. This particular command admin constant mainly used for Azure Kubernetes creation. Okay. So please run all these commands and hope this should be successful for you. It's no issues should come. Oh, hope so. Right. All right. So let's see here. So I'm creating AKS cluster. This is the API and this is the name kind. And I'm naming my cluster like a XCD AKS cluster and then RG Crossplane. And this should be part of this resource group. And this should be resource part of this VNet. And this is a subnet. Which location you want to run. And also what is the version you want to use, how many node count you want to run, what is the node VM size, and DNS prefix, and do you want to enable or disable the RBAC? It's up to you. If you want to enable, you can enable it. And again, I'm referring a product config as this. And if you want to secret for this cluster, which namespace you want and what should be the name. Okay. So you can just again apply this. I'm going to just apply and show you, nothing else. I'm going to do that. Okay, 1 second. There is something I have missed. Yes, there is typo here. It should be East US, otherwise it will fail with there is no location found. So ctl apply -f AKS Kubernetes, right? So it takes time, but let me quickly show you the status. AKS cluster. So you can see it takes a little long. So obviously, right? So if you created the AKS even with the Terraform or anything, so it takes little time to provision because it has a lot of backend work to do. So that is expected. It goes via that. You can skip this error. It's just a warning. This is part of the Crossplane and it shows, but you can skip it. It's a well-known error. Okay. So hope it takes a little long, but let's see that something we can see, but quickly see that. Nothing so far, but it's going to take a little long and it will complete. Okay. So like this, you can create the resources one by one and what are the available resources. And whenever you do, what are the challenges we have faced. So first thing is the API, whatever you are using, please make sure you are using a proper APIs. If you are using a cross APIs and that may cause a lot of issue, that is a limitation on Crossplane. You can't create the resource group in another API and the AKS cluster on different API. That will fail, or it may expect like there is no resource group has been formed. So always keep the uniformation and use whatever the resource you want to use it. So you can use like HCTL resources. You can see what are the resources part of Crossplane here. So let me quickly grab it for you. Okay, so there is this many available Crossplane extensions are available. So whichever you want to use for what purpose, you can see it here. MySQL still there. Postgres, you can do it. Even you can use the Key Vault. So Azure Key Vault, you can use it. Virtual network we have tried. And if you want to do any kind of additional thing, what is there additionally? If you wish to create a storage container, we have created the storage, but we didn't create the container. If you wish, you can do that. If you want to use Redis feature, you can use it. So this is currently available, but this is going to be grown much better, right? So within that, if you have any requirement, you can make use of it and keep follow this tool. Hope this may give us very robust features in the future. Okay, this is not marketing, but I'm just pretty much impressed on this tool, so I'm just giving you the guidance. So hope this video is useful, guys. So like this, you can create everything via kubectl. So stay tuned. Next video will be comes from the argocd. So we're gonna see how you can provision your infrastructure using argocd. Okay, so let's see that. And until then, bye bye. Take care.